I'm speechless, Molly Hamilton.
Thank you, Contest Chair.
You're welcome.
Raise your hand if you have ever taken singing lessons. Music lessons? Any lessons? When I was a teenager, I took singing lessons from Mrs. Pocatera, a warm-hearted woman in her late 70s. One day she came to my lesson and she said, "Molly, I want to put you in the Kiwanis Music Festival in the duet class." I said, "Well, a contest? No, thank you. Besides, I just started taking singing lessons. I would never win." She said, "I want you to do it just for the experience." Before I could answer, in walked another one of her students. He looked like Hercules. He even smelled good. Mrs. Pocatera leaned over to me and said, "Molly, that's John, your duet partner." Oh, I would like to try it just for the experience. She assigned us a Rodgers and Hammerstein classic song from The Sound of Music. We practiced it every week for 2 months, one song until the date of the competition. When I walked in to the venue, I was shocked. It was huge. There must have been 2,500 seats in there. And the stage, it was large enough to house a symphony orchestra. We'd only been practicing in Mrs. Pocatera's front room. Have you ever been intimidated by a space? If you've been sitting in the audience that day, you would have seen a very nervous 19-year-old girl walking on that stage. Lights were so hot, it was starting to perspire. And they were so bright that when I tried to look out into the audience, it was completely black. I couldn't tell if there was one person out there or 2,500. My mind was going foggy. I was finding it hard to breathe. And then my heart started beating fast. And then the music started playing, and I knew I had to come in. But one by one, every single word of the song was going zip, 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 right out of my head until I was completely blank, speechless. But I knew I couldn't just stand there and let Hercules down. So I took a deep breath. And I started to sing any words that came into my head. You are 16, going on 17. I know that you're afraid. I am just singing any words. Now I feel like a ding-a-ling. And I continued to sing until it was finally time to turn it over to John. I looked up into his handsome face, and what I saw was he was blank, speechless. I thought, what should I do? I decided to sing John's part until the end of the song. When it was finished, all I could do was look down. I thought, how could I forget the words? I bet John wishes he had chosen a different duet partner. I never want to do this again. When was the last time you said, I never want to do this again? When our class was finished, I went out the stage door exit. Guess who was there to greet me? No, not John. He was long gone. Mrs. Pocatera. She put her arm around me and walked me over to a black leather bench where we sat down. She said, "Molly, I'm pretty sure that wasn't the experience you were hoping for. I know you're disappointed that you didn't win. You didn't even place for that matter. But you showed up. 70% of success in life is just showing up. Most people don't show up. They give up. With a little bit of patience and persistence, you will be successful." I took those words to heart. And I kept showing up. I showed up for my next lesson. I showed up for my first concert. And before I knew it, I'd been showing up for over 30 years as a professional singer. I won. Do you have anything that you've wanted to do but haven't because you were afraid of the outcome? Life is a blank canvas. You can either leave it empty or fill it with rich experiences. Take Mrs. Pocatera's advice, and over the next week, do something, anything, just for the experience. Remember, it doesn't matter if you win. It doesn't even matter if you place. But it matters if you show. Show up. Because when you do, I guarantee that at least one of those experiences will leave you speechless. On to next one.